Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Um, I did get a request on YouTube to do a quick TA on NIO. Before I start the video, I did want to give a shout out to my sponsor, me. If you like my videos, if you like the content, if you want more, if you want to learn how to trade, if you want to have access to my indicators, if you want all that other good stuff, or if you want even access to my Telegram chats for crypto and stock, which there's a lot of people apart from me that are really good at what they do. So join the chats. It's super fun. That's like my favorite part of the day, honestly, just to be on like the Telegram chat with everybody on there. I think it's super awesome. But with that being said, let's get started with the TA. NIO hit my well, not yet, but I think it is going to hit my target price of around $15.56. The last time we looked at NIO was actually late January or so. And I really only saw two directions that it could take. I'm like, it was either going to run back and fill this gap, and drop all the way down to 15 something, or drop from here late January straight down to $15.15. It actually ended up going with that second scenario of coming up here, almost filling the gap, and then dropping all the way down, right? So this gap didn't get filled, right? So I do think eventually NIO is going to go back to $27.30. But as of right now, everything on NIO does look not bullish. Everything on NIO does look bearish. Unfortunately, it actually looks even more bearish now than the last time that I made this TA, which was late January, right? I actually think it's going to drop to this gap fill at $10. This gap was actually created the week of June 29, 2020, going into the week of July 6, 2020. So this gap has been a really big really big impact on the stock ever since it was actually made, which is about at the time it was a 10% gap, right? It went from $9 in 57 cents to $10.66. So about a 10% gap, for that week or so. So eventually, like I've always said before, gaps always get filled eventually, whether they be a year down the line, 2 years down the line. If you've been following me for a while now, you guys know that I live by that rule that gaps always get filled. There's like a ridiculously high chance that if a gap is created, it's going to get filled. Right, there's a gap on SPY at like $400 that I think is going to get filled. There was a gap on Google when it jumped after hours, and that's why it came right back down to fill that gap for Google. Amazon just had a gap after they announced that 20-to-1 split. I think it's going to come back down and fill the gap. So always wait for that gap. The good thing also is on Facebook's side or on Meta's side, they actually have a gap that was created back at 320, and you guys can actually go back, I think, one video prior to this one, and I actually think Facebook's a really good pickup right now, especially for your long term. I don't think it's going to zero. Even if it does go lower, I personally wouldn't care. I think as of where the price is right now, I think it has a really good chance of going up about 70% when it hits that 320 mark. But again, NIO, it does look bearish. I think it's gonna fill this gap back here at like $10 or so, $9.50. So as of right now, I don't really need to do too much TA on NIO. I think for the most part, small caps are gonna continue to bleed. NIO is obviously one of them, and I think it is gonna come down to about $9.50. Also, the news that China supports Russia, all that other good stuff doesn't really help NIO's case either. A lot of the Chinese stocks keep getting hurt, like BABA, NIO, probably other Chinese stocks that I can think of. But as far as right now, I would stay away from Chinese stocks. I would stay away from possibly small caps as much as I can. I'd stay away from probably doing a lot of calls right now. I'd stay away from a lot of a lot of things that are that require a lot of money, right? So like premium. That's my mom. I call her. If you guys see that, I think premium plays are not the way to go. So stay away from plays that require high premium, like Rolls Royce or what are premium brands. I don't know if Louis Vuitton or stuff like that is tradable, right? Or DKNG, right? It requires a lot of money to trade and essentially gamble on their platform. What are other luxury brands? Probably Lucid, right? Lucid is probably going to go the same direction. because Lucid is a luxury electric brand when compared to Tesla. So anything that's like that takes a lot of overhead money, I'd stay away from. But to focus back on NIO, yeah, I think it's gonna keep dropping down. All the momentum is still on the lower end. I mean, even if we do look at the volume price or the volume profile, you know, I don't know, man. Like this, it doesn't look that great, right? So let me see. If you have, yeah, you have a lot of selling pressure at like $20 and around here, right? Which is that $20 mark to keep pushing down. I guess we can go back even further. Let's go to the monthly chart on NIO. Let's see if you actually have a lot of volume coming in at certain places. You know what? You'd actually have a lot of volume coming in around that $14 mark. So you might see a nice bounce around this area, around that $14, $15 mark for NIO. You might see maybe sideways trading, a bounce to the upside, whatever. But if we're looking at smaller time frame charts, you know, look at the weekly, look at the daily, you know, it does look like it's gonna keep dropping down. And I would not be surprised to fill this gap. But I do think that I do think that NIO more than likely is gonna hit a range between, you know, 950 and at minimum, I think like $15.50. So between this $5 range, I think NIO is definitely going to be around this range. And I think NIO, as far as long term, if you like NIO long term, I think a good entry would be anywhere between, you know, 950 and like $15.50, right? So I think this would be a solid pickup to add to your long term. So I'll see you guys later. Unfortunately, I am bearish on NIO. We'll see what happens because the market has been absolutely crazy these last couple months. So bye-bye.